Hello and warm welcome to Lumen Morning Diary with me, Henry Mdenda, and I'm not alone in the studio. I've been joined by Genera and Alice. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Henry.
Good morning,
Alice.
Good morning.
It is a lovely Saturday indeed, where we are looking at the hot issue, which is the CDF. How is it helping you out there? Wherever you're watching us, please remember that you are part and parcel of this show. You can contribute by simply calling in and let us know how this CDF is actually helping you. We have yet another exciting package where we'll look at different issues around the country, which happens to be the sports. In the world of sports, there'll be some people who will be telling us more about it, and in healthy, not forgetting also the food for the soul with Father Arthur later on. But right up now, guys, let's look at what's trending around the social media. Not only the social media, but things that we've just heard but didn't pop up on the social media, guys, on the trends.
Yo, I'm sure this is your favorite section. You always say you love Umulomo. Well, just like you've said, what's really trending? I came across this approval. It's alleged that ERB has approved ZESCO tariff hike.
I also
did you come across that?
I also came across it. I read it.
So Amalite Balelunda, that's what it means. Hike Balelunda Malite. ERB has approved. Remember, I think a few weeks ago or a month ago, we had said they denied that approval, but now they have agreed.
They have agreed, and we know when we hear Amalites nga Balunda, we know that definitely it will also affect some of the businesses around.
My biggest question is why now?
When there's load shedding.
Why now? Because at some point this was discussed around the table, and the answer was no to ZESCO's appeal of increasing. But the biggest question, maybe someone can answer, why now? Why is it that they've been prompted to accept that proposal to increase tariffs? You know, I also came across a certain post where people actually were commenting to say, actually, this will see more problems. Zambians will face more problems because of the hikes. We haven't experienced it, but looking at it, maybe the cost of doing business at some point will become more high.
Definitely. Anyway.
In another news,
another thing, also the issues of
okay.
Alice, you wanted to say
no,
something?
go ahead. And I wanted to actually talk about the sad story that is actually trending of late, of that student that committed suicide. You know that there is more to the story. Like, it's not just about suicide, it's about betrayal, and it's a touching story. It's a sad reading, I must say. Having read that, believe me, I was really touched. I was really broken, because a lot of things were ringing in my head to say, okay, how can one be this heartless? Indeed, depression is real. Obviously, the viewers will be surprised what is Alice talking about. We're talking about a student that committed suicide, a student from Unilas who was betrayed by the friend. Apparently, this student was raising money to buy a car, and unfortunately,
he trusted the wrong guys.
Yes, he trusted the wrong guys. It so happened that the same people that were involved happened to be the close friend of his. You know, it's a situation where you trust in somebody, you trust your friend that they will help you out, because he wanted to use that car for business.
Yeah, he wanted to venture into
the Yango
taxi.
business.
Yes.
Yeah, me have said Yango.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what the story says.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what's really sad is the amount of money that he had raised. The people that said they had the vehicle asked for more money. He went and sourced for more money, gave them, but the vehicle didn't show up.
He got...
and on top of that, the police also requested for some money from him to do the tracing. And that money also went into the water.
Yeah, it's like, you know...
It dipped. Okay. In
I
this
can
process,
just imagine, like you want to seek help. Like
you need to pay for that help.
You need to pay for that help. It's like they keep on. You've got a wound. They keep on adding more fire to the wound. You see, like it seems. Okay, for me, it felt like he had nowhere to turn to, because being that he was betrayed by somebody that was close to him. I don't know. It seemed like he had a lot going on his mind. Henceforth, he thought maybe just cutting his life short would be
the solution. It's never the solution. Trust me. No problem is too big for God.
Yes,
we always say this with Father Arthur. You know, when you believe and trust in God, no matter the situation that you're passing through, things will work out accordingly.
Exactly.
Suicide is not a solution. So our viewers out there, if you're going through problems, at times learn to tell a friend or relatives. Confide in God, at least, you know, suicide is not a solution.
Or just seeking professional help if you feel like, okay, maybe my friends would actually use that problem to pin me down. Just seek for professional help. There are churches, there are counselors who can actually counsel you. I think that is the only solution that one could ever find.
Yeah, and you know, this week has been Mental Health Week.
Yes.
So I feel we need to sensitize a lot about people wanting to take their lives, because we're talking about what's trending. I actually saw something yesterday saying my birthday is on 12th of October. I will die on my birthday. How does a person write that? Meaning they're planning on taking their own life?
Yes, obviously. Those are the things that we need to be aware. There are others that would post things, I'm tired of this life. You can actually see that one is going through depression. This is the time. I don't know, we don't have to make fun of one who is saying, I'm tired, it's best maybe I just go. It's go and find out what they are going through. And like, we love to make fun of one when they post such things. It's best we check on them. Believe me, depression is real. There are stories that we don't even hear about. Like last week, a friend of mine lost a cousin. She committed suicide because she was going through a heartbreak. So let's check up on one another. It's very, very important.
Exactly.
Yes. Like the way Alisa just mentioned, heartbreak. No, it's not like that. You know, this is just the reality. Sure. We should look at some point the people that we can share our problems to, because many of the times that you can share your problems to someone else who happens to be a wrong person at the end of the day. Because you know, look, generally I come to you, I share to you like with you a problem, then there you go, you publish the same problems. It goes viral. So this time around, you know, this is where people opt to go the different route.
Exactly.
Where you find someone ends up committing suicide because they carry the burden
all alone.
All along like that. So now the other issue that also shocked me yesterday was the ZICTA director resigning. You know, these are just issues that would confuse someone to say, okay, why? What is happening? In the country? Definitely a lot goes on in the country.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the best way? The best way is to pray. But we are also in the month of prayer and fasting.
Exactly.
Yeah, we should also encourage people actually to seek the presence of God, to pray, to seek guidance and direction. Yeah, long are the days that people used to take prayer and fasting so seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to unite as one. Let's pray. Let's seek for guidance from God. Let's pray for the rains. You know, we've always emphasized we need heavy down for this year.
Yeah.
So that we don't starve, so that the issue of load shedding starts minimizing.
Yeah.
And before we dive into the
newspaper picks,
there's just one last story that's been trending this week. There's been a shortage of fuel. If you've noticed.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've experienced that.
No.
I've actually noticed.
Yeah. You've noticed that?
Yeah, there are so many queues. We even have clips.
Yes.
Like yesterday, I was actually stuck due to the same issue. We are seeing so many queues per my filling station, people wanting petrol, and what's really funny is people are commenting at to petrol nato uzungu tu sakile penangu twasila. Though other filling stations they have the only problem is load shedding. They don't have power and their gensets are not really operating well, so as a result they'll say they're not operating.
Yeah, and as you are picking the newspapers, you guys, there's just one story that I wanted to talk about. You know, filling stations nowadays, there are blackouts.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, blackouts on the filling station. Then you begin to wonder to say, if a filling station can suffer like this, who sell fuel? And then, who am I?
Who is Henry? Well, let me look at the mass newspaper. Yeah, the first headline in the mass newspaper is HH is losing grip. Mr. Tony Blair unlikely to be a means of political survival for Mr. Hakainde, says Mwale. This story is found on page 2.
And the Zambia Daily Mail newspaper, as headline says, drought has distorted our plans. HH President Hakainde Hichilema says for Zambia to get out of debt burdens and solution, there is need for ingenuity and innovation.
The other story is court moves to deck for identification of 6 other vehicles in ZRA case. This story is also found on page 2.
Okay, there's a story which is a very, very sad one. Mansa mob kills man, injures uncle. A 62-year-old man of Mansa has been beaten to death by a mob while his uncle escaped with injuries after they were accused of bewitching their 34-year-old relatives who is mentally challenged. That happened in Mansa.
Okay, so these stories are very, very common.
So these things are still happening where one is accused of witchcraft and you know the mob try to do their justice and on their own instead of maybe trying to find a solution of helping out, take them to the police or something.
That's the problem. You know why people don't really take these people to the police? Because our Zambian law doesn't believe in that. You see,
in witchcraft.
Yes, you can't say Ndindoshine. I need to prove that.
You have no evidence.
Exactly. You see.
That's so. I still don't understand why. Is there a solution to it by killing somebody?
No.
Especially this time around, people, I don't know, they have just taken a different route where at some point practicing such things becomes a normal to them. Yeah.
We were talking about, before you go into sports general, we were talking about fuel, and there's this headline here which says fuel stock enough. ERB expects supply to improve next week.
You see, so meaning there's been a shortage of fuel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sports though, none of the papers have what's trending in the sports. Zambia drew yesterday against Chad.
Yes.
For the Africa qualifiers match. Yeah. Then this one in the mass, we have 4 schools compete in T20 cricket series. 4 schools from the Independent Schools Association of Zambia are battling it out in T20 cricket series. Italian School of Lusaka were to host Martin House College, Indian School of Lusaka, and Rhodes Park School on Friday and Saturday for the ISAZ Nations T20 tournament. You know, I'm really happy to hear about cricket. Schools are actually letting pupils to participate into cricket. You know, in Zambia, munakwat maishafe bowler.
Yes.
It's always about football. We have a lot of sports that one can engage themselves into.
Apart from football, which other sports do you think can bring people together like football does?
You know, there are a lot. It's just that
we've embraced too much.
You know,
football.
I feel football is a god. God, yeah, G. Yes, more G. It's a god. We worship football too much.
So the question is, what do you think can be done? Like, which other sports do you think can beat football according to your thinking? To say, okay, I think if we try this, I think it can be better than football.
As long as the Western embrace soccer, football more, there's no sport that can beat it. Unless if those guys don't embrace it more, maybe they bring in cricket or rugby, you all start worshipping rugby. Trust me.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Yes, Henry, today being our topic CDF, how is CDF helping you? And this is a topic that we actually even shared. We had talked a bit about it. Is it 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken? And we want to find out from the viewers out there, CDF iku helping ani bwanji munjira ya bwanji tingafuno ziba ko munga sharing by simply calling us or texting us. You can actually comment even using our Facebook page, which is Lumen TV. Yes.
Yeah, on CDF, I think CDF is something which is, at some point, I feel it's something that is huge. Yeah, to explain, to make someone understand. You know, most of the people now, they take CDF to be something which is political. But which is not supposed to be the case. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not supposed to be the case. But for me, I would say, on behalf of the people that are maybe benefiting from CDF, CDF, is it a grant or it's a loan?
Yeah, you know, that's a very good question.
Yeah.
Is CDF a grant or a loan?
Is it a grant or
because
a
normally
loan?
it's given, according to whatever cooperative you made, it's given as a loan that you need to pay back. But we've seen a lot of people don't pay back. So when you're given it's given as a loan, but once you get it, it becomes a grant.
We should see, we should now begin to see things happening the same way money is being released. We should be hearing news like that to say the money has been paid back, this is so much we've recovered. I mean, it's something that just goes, then it doesn't come back. But definitely if it goes, what about that person who has not received? But I'm happy today that to have guest Nyirenda who will tell us more about CDF. Actually, we have questions. In case you've just joined us, you can also call on those very numbers that are scrolling on the screen. We'll pick it up from here and definitely share more views about how you are benefiting from CDF. Guys, Zambia is big. I just came to realize that there are some places that just few miles away from Lusaka, the bush begins. But I wonder why people are overcrowded here in Lusaka, and then we make it as though
Lusaka is for business.
Lusaka.
They want to be closer to town. We want, not they want. We want.
I've already said Lusaka is for business.
We want to be closer.
So our lovely viewers, Henia said, if you have any questions or any contributions about the topic, you can either call, you can text us, even you can write a message on Facebook. We'll read it out.
Yeah.
If you've a beneficiary of CDF, told me I've benefited in such a way. I did this and this. If you're not a beneficiary, you also explain. We're ready to hear your views, I guess.
Oh, yes.
You work in the same company, and then you discover that your friend has been paid. Then you are not being paid. The year has passed. The other one has passed, like that. You get what I mean? Yeah, definitely people have mixed feelings on CDF. Trust me, people have got mixed feelings about CDF. I came across these are just rumors. But rumor has it that there are some people that get CDF as families, just one family, and then they get maybe an amount of 900,000 just as a family. Then at the end of the day, we'll see how it is being done.
Yes, like Henry has said, there are rumors.
There are
we
rumors.
don't know, so we want to find out.
We got to find out.
We want to find out from you viewers. What you have to say about CDF. Is it helping you or is it not helping you? What's your view about it?
General, just a quick one. If you can get CDF, I know you have not benefited.
How sure are you?
If you can get CDF as a loan, are you sure you pay back?
It all starts from so why should I be the first one?
I won't comment on that one.
Anyway, we've talked so much.
Talked too much.
We need to take a break. We'll be right back.
welcome back. Here watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've just been joined by Father Arthur. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Alice. General,
Good morning, Father. How are you?
I'm fine. Yourselves?
Very fine. We are fine. We're just hungry. We need to be fed.
Okay. First, we begin with the food of the soul.
Yes, that's the food that we need.
All right. Okay. The soul needs to be fed.
Yes, we're yearning for it.
Yeah, so today I want us to reflect on Matthew chapter 11.
Okay.
Verses 28 going forward. And in that passage, Jesus is talking about, he's saying, come to me, all you who are weary or heavy burden, heavily burdened, and I'm going to give you rest. Take my yoke, and I'm going to give you rest. Just that part. Come to me, all you who have things in your hearts, and I'm going to give you rest. Reflecting on this passage, I thought we could talk about on this segment. We could talk about depression and battling depression. A lot of people in this world, especially the young people, think we're cool, but this age, the middle-aged category, the young people, the young adults, a lot of such people are going through depression. The depression that they are just battling alone without saying anything to any of their peers, without anybody. Well, if you get to meet somebody who opens up about what they are going through, maybe one out of 10. But a lot are going through these things quietly, and all you come to hear about is this is what has happened. Maybe they have taken their own life, or something else has happened, and you are all asking yourselves, but how didn't we see this coming? Couldn't we have done something to help this person? Now, on this segment, I'm not talking about those that come to ask questions like that, but those that need to open up and talk about what they are going through. It is not easy to begin to talk about your personal things, because you need to have people that you can trust, people that you can really feel comfortable open up to, so that you get help. And in this world, it's not always easy to get such people. That's why many people just opt to just be by themselves, isolate themselves. They will talk about football, they will talk about anything else and everything else except what they are battling, what they are going through. And whenever they go home, they go to their own space, they enter their bedroom, and that depression kicks in. Because now everybody else is not there, the friends are not there, everybody has gone to their own business, to their own homes, houses. So they are all by themselves in their bedroom, and they begin to break down. We have a lot of such people who are battling depression in that manner. And the question is, how can they get help? How can they begin to talk about the things that they're going through, so that they can hopefully get help? First of all, you cannot fight depression alone. You can't say, I'm going to handle this. I can do this. I can handle this. Depression is a disease.
True.
Yeah, it's not just a condition that one goes through. It once you get into the state of depression, then it means you are sick. And just like any other disease, once you are able to notice that you are in that category, you've gotten into that state of depression. Just like any other disease, you need to get help. But the question in the case of depression is, who can really help you? When you have a headache, you go to UTH, you go to any other hospital, what you need is a nurse or a doctor. You're not really looking for nurse A or Dr. B. If you have a nurse, a personal nurse, fine. If you have a personal doctor, fine. but you not go to UTH really looking for nurse A, such that if nurse B comes, you be saying, no, it's not you. I'm looking for the other nurse. But in the case of depression, you don't just want anybody to attend to you. You want nurse A, nurse B, or that particular nurse, or that particular therapist, because of trust issues. People have told the stories of their lives that eventually found themselves on social media. So everybody is careful. But that does not still rule out the fact that people need to begin to talk about the things that they're battling in their hearts, in their lives. Because if they don't, the end result is not always pleasant. That's where you get to hear stories of suicide and many other things. You know, if they didn't kill themselves, maybe they just become a monster to other people. If they get married because their depression was not handled properly or was not cured, then they become a monster to the wife. They become a monster to the husband. They become a monster even to the children. And at that stage, maybe even redemption cannot be foreseen. People need to open up, but for you to open up and get help, you need people that you can trust. That's why within your circles, the people that you hang out with, there should be at least one person that you say, okay, I have these 10 friends that I hang, but this one is more than these others. Everybody should have somebody like that. I mean, you can't just exist without having a person like that. You don't have to have 2 or 3 of such, even just one. You have a lot of friends, yes, but there's this one.
Yes, you can actually
open up whatever situation.
You can call that person anything, best friend, bestie, or whatever. We're not interested in whatever you call that person, but there should be that one person, such that even if you messed up somewhere, you go, my friend, come sit here. I think I've messed up. How am I going to get out of this? And then you get help from that person. So that is the first person that you open up to. And that person doesn't even have to come from your own family. They can be anybody, just somebody that you have created that relationship with. Once you talk to them, now one thing you have to keep in mind also is that person is just your friend, is just a confidant. They are not a professional therapist. Okay, so if what you need is professional therapist, then there is another stage that you have to move to. You open up to this person, you share with them what you're going through. This is what it is. Now from there, you might need something professional. You might now need to identify an institution or a professional therapist who is going to talk to you from a professional point of view. Now, whether you need a professional therapist or not, it depends on the stage of your depression. Now, let me also say this: that sometimes people don't even know they are depressed. Identifying depression is also a phase or a stage that you need to go through to identify it. But for you to be able to go and seek help, you have to know that you have a problem. Sometimes people who go through depression don't even know they have a problem. But people who are around could see it. Say, this person is Samba Katatu in a week, Maja Samba Gamos. This person never used to drink like this. But what happened? Why is he drinking like this? So people begin to ask questions because they have started seeing something unusual about you. And those are signs that there could be something that you could be going through. Now, you yourself will not know that you are going into depression. For you, it's just drinking. Of course, I used to drink just 2 bottles, but now I'm taking 6. But there are many others that take 6, so it's just drinking. You might not know you are drinking like that because you are getting into that state. So it's important to pay attention also to the change of behaviors in your life. But the best person to help you identify depression is actually not even yourself. It is the person that knows you. when somebody asks you or begins to wonder why they have started seeing certain traits which were never there in your life, you should start thinking, I think it is because of this issue. Because you know that there is an issue. Maybe you're going through a breakup or something, okay? Maybe you're going through a divorce, you know, those things that depress people. Even just exam school, yeah, and anything can depress you, yeah. So once people begin to identify certain traits that were not there before, you have to think, say, okay, maybe it is because I failed my exam. Maybe it is because I have a lot of debts in Congole. Maybe it is because of that. The feedback people are giving you about your life is what now is going to help you begin to identify depression in you. And once that starts, then you can begin, once they give you those that feedback, then start talking about now those things that are taking away your peace. When you're alone in your house, you're always thinking about, how am I going to how am I going to get out of that situation? Those are grounds for depression. So now talk about those things to this person you trust. You say, the issue is like, okay, no wonder. Then you begin to look for a solution together with that person you trust. The person that is not going to broadcast your problem. The person that is not going to bring in a third person unless you give them permission. From there now, you should be able, together with that person or those people, you should be able to know whether what you need is actually professional therapy or not. What are we saying? What we are saying is many people are going through depression.
True.
And it is important for them to get help. Now, let me end with this. Let me end with what I started with. Matthew 11, verses 28. Come to me, all you who are heavy laden. It is important, even though it is difficult, it is important for one that is battling depression to read a passage like that. To understand that regardless of what they are going through, whatever they are going through, they are not alone. They might have been abandoned by friends, by people and all, but Jesus is calling them. Jesus is calling you. Come to me because you are heavy laden. You have this cross that you are carrying. Never isolate yourself from Jesus. Never isolate yourself from the church. Never isolate yourself from a support group like a Smoke Sun community. Never isolate yourself from anything to do with God, because once that happens, that is like adding salt to the depression that is already kicking in. Come to Jesus because he can help you carry that load, or he can remove the load off your shoulders.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Father. You know, before you came in, we actually talked about someone that went through depression and ended up ending their own life. I said this: Father has always encouraged us to go to God, to pray to him, to ask him for guidance. Well, Father, you have a message. This one says, it's difficult to trust a person, not even a priest. You can hear your story in the priest's homily. This message is from Michael Itongo.
Yeah. You know, trust is a very expensive commodity. For you to come to a place or a level where you say, I trust this person, it means, it really means a lot. It means you trust them truly. Now, it is true that trust can be betrayed. That's why you need to have somebody. You need to have this person. This one, with all in a problem ya branch. This person will never say anything to anybody. Okay, I know a priest has been mentioned there, but just was it last week we were talking about the sacrament, the seal of confession, or at the priest. Sometimes people have come to claim and say, Father talked about what I shared with him in the homily or in the office. Well, I'm not here to say that never happened or that cannot happen. What I'm going to say is that must not happen. Yeah, that is not supposed to happen. If you come to the office to tell me to my office to tell me about your problem, it means that you trust me as a priest, and you trust that this is going to be between you and me. And I must say that it is unfortunate if something like that happens, that you share something with the priest and then you hear it in a homily or somewhere else. Very unfortunate. But it must not happen. So you have to trust somebody, trust a priest, trust a friend, trust somebody. You see, the point here is, if you don't talk about what is eating you up, if you don't share it with another person you can trust, you can truly trust, that thing is going to kill you. Yeah.
Indeed, Father, depression is real.
Yeah.
Like you had said earlier on, to say others don't even know that they are going through depression. There are times when one is going through depression and they can't express themselves, or they can't share their problem with someone. It's simply because people that surround that person use that problem that one has shared to pin them down. So it makes
it's unfortunate, really.
Yes, it makes it very difficult for one to open up what they are going through, because they are afraid for one to use that problem to pin them down. And the other thing is that maybe all one needs sometimes is just a shoulder to lean on, even just a hug, or just simply tell the person, okay, whatever you are going through, it will be all right, without really explaining everything that they are going through. Just, it will be okay, it will be all right, it's a phase, it's just a matter of time. Or just even just the word, I love you, it is well. Just those words really
some time
heal.
back I read a book where the author was talking about masks, you know, like that people go about wearing masks because they don't want to be judged by other people. So there's a question in that book to say, why am I afraid to tell you who I am? Because if I tell you who I am, I'm afraid that you might not like what I might tell you. So you see people moving about wearing masks, you think, this is a very happy person. But then there's something that they are hiding behind that mask. They don't want to talk about the real issues because they don't want to be judged. Like somebody there was talking about the issue of broken trust. It's difficult to find somebody. It is, and I agree with that person. It is very true. It is difficult to find somebody you can truly trust, somebody you can open up to 100%. But that still does not rule out the fact that you need somebody. Because if you keep that issue to yourself, you might think you are strong enough to handle it. It's just a matter of time. That thing is going to break you down. You need somebody. Identify, that's why in your circles, there must be somebody. If you have 10 friends, 10, among those, there should be one person.
They are true.
Yeah, there should be one person. Okay, all these are my friends. And I chat with them up to this level. But this one, I go beyond that
level.
Yes. That one person, if you don't have that one person in your life, start looking for one. Yes, have one person whom you're going to say, boy, I have messed up and it is my fault. Please, how do I get out of this situation? Or, boy, I have this issue. I'm afraid if I talk about it with my family or whatever, they might judge me, they might say this. But you need that one person. No. Have that one serious person.
Thank you so much, Father. We've actually learned a lot about depression, and I'm sure even the viewers out there have learned something, and they're actually aware that they need to open up when you're going through depression. Thank you so much, Father.
Thank you so much, and see you next week, I guess.
Same time, same place.
That was Father Arthur giving us food for the soul. I believe you've learned something about what we had today, which is depression. Join us after the break as we'll look at the health segment.
news to all choirs and artists, Lumen TV Zambia proudly announces the opening of a brand new state-of-the-art audio recording studio, calling all church choirs, Catholic or non-Catholics, to join us for a recording experience like no other. Plus, we offer a bonus of a free studio-based musical video to any choir that records with us. To all gospel artists, our audio recording studio is open wide for you to evangelize through music. Come through and experience our top-notch sound quality at unbeatable rates, while providing you with the highest sound quality that your fans will enjoy. Find us conveniently located at Lumen TV Zambia in Woodlands, within the grounds of St. Dominic's Major Seminary. Solo artist, we got you covered. Book your recording session by calling the numbers on the screen. Let us make your recording journey smooth, giving life to music.
Welcome back. Is another exciting segment, which is the health segment, and I've been joined by an Dr. Mr. Khan, who will tell us more about this month, which is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're yet to learn one or two things about the breast cancer itself. Mr. Khan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and it's really a pleasure coming and joining you and talking to you on such an important topic. Breast cancer is easily treatable, and it's very important for us to keep talking about it, because the sensitization is more important.
Yes.
People need to get sensitized, and it's not that we are not aware of it, and there is nothing new the people are going to talk about. But then the more we talk, the more the people get sensitized, and then become serious about it. Because the breast cancer is something which is occurring. People, and then we reach to the hospitals only when it is a late stage. So early we talk, early we observe ourselves, detect early, and we can treat ourselves well. So that's what the message is. Yeah.
Okay. October being a month of breast cancer awareness, I just want to find out, why do we celebrate breast cancer awareness?
See, we celebrate this one because we want to get. See, if you look at the global scenario, we have the data available for the breast cancer is the last which I have read is 2022 data. We have seen that 2.3 million people get affected by it, and we have also seen that about 670,000 people reported death. So, and something which can easily be averted. So we more talk and we more get sensitized, we can avert the situation, and that's how we celebrate to get more and more awareness about it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. We're still talking about breast cancer. We've actually seen, as we celebrate in the month of October breast cancer awareness, there is this color that we see, which is pink. Why the color pink?
Well, I don't know if I'm precise or not, but then pink is more associated with the women.
Okay.
And when we look at the breast cancer, the 99% of the affected people are
Women.
Of course, it occurs in men as well.
Okay.
But it is only the ratio is, the percentage is 0.5 to 1%. So the 99% of the women get affected, and that's why it is more associated with the pink. I don't know if I'm correct or not. It could be another reason as well. But as we know that the pink is more associated with the women,
Yes,
and then
yes.
yeah.
True that.
All right, Mr. Khan, when we look at the breast cancer awareness sensitization, what type of people are we sensitizing right now? What age group are we looking at?
See, if we are, people who have attended the puberty
Okay.
to any age which goes further need to be sensitized about it. So the people who have reached to the puberty, or the people who have got the menstrual cycle, and people who have reached to the reproductive age. But the more people who need to be more sensitized about it, the people who are above 40 years of age. So if your age is more than 40, you need to be more sensitized about it. And the people who are more at risk, the first risk is being a woman itself, because 99% of the breast cancer occurs with the women. Anybody who is above 40 is more at risk, so they need to be sensitized more. Anybody who is obese, they need to be sensitized more. Abuse of alcohol, the people who have been abusing alcohol, they need to be sensitized more. Anybody who has got a family history of breast cancer in their family, they need to be sensitized more. So they need to be, then observing themselves. People who have been exposed to the radiotherapy, they need to be sensitized more. So anybody of those, or anybody who has reached to the menopausal age, and then they are on the hormonal therapy here and there, they need to be sensitized more. So in cross, anybody who is above 40 years of age need to be sensitized about it, and they need to be self-observing. It's not that everybody has to go and see the doctor immediately. Self-awareness is very, very important, and that's why we are trying to sensitize the people to get more aware about it, because the first person who need to be observing themselves is herself, because you see yourself daily, and any changes in the body need to be immediately you need to get sensitized, and there are a lot of signs and symptoms which normally a body exhibits.
Okay.
And yeah,
maybe just on that one, Mr. Khan, what are the causes of breast cancer, or maybe what are the signs that one can actually see that this is breast cancer?
The first sign and symptom is, I'll come to the two things in this one. The one is like, when you're observing it of yourself, you find the change in the size, shape, all that, not normal. So once you find some changes in your breast, it means that you need to get sensitized about it. The second symptoms which can find is, in later stage, you can find the lumps being formed. Lumps may not be painful as well. It may or may not be painful. But if you're finding some lumps, we need to be sensitized about it. There's something happening. If you find some dimpling or redness, or you find some pitting in the breast area, we need to get sensitized about it. If there is some abnormal discharge which comes out from the this one, then we need to get sensitized about it. So these are some of the signs and symptoms which we need to look at. And we find any kind of these things, the first thing is we need to report to a doctor, or go to a doctor and see, and because the doctor is the one who is going to really observe it and confirm your assumption. And there are various ways of then there is a further way of confirming it. But these are the things which you can observe yourself. Those redness, your dimpling, your the pitting, or the change in size, or shapes, formation of the lumps, or thickening. Those are the things which we observe ourselves. So this is how people need to look at.
All right. So according to the number of years that in healthy, what type of people? Because people say that breast cancer is actually the disease for the rich people. Because it's rare that the poor actually experience such type of diseases. According to your findings, these might just be rumors that people speculate out there. But according to you, is it for all type of people, all races, or what type of people are we sensitizing more?
Well, if you look at the Human Development Index, in developed countries, the Human Development Index, 1 in 12, I don't know if your assumption may be correct as well, because 1 in 12 people get breast cancer. If the countries with the high Human Development Index, 1 in 12 get the breast cancer. and the reported deaths are 1 out of the people who have been detected with, 1 in 73 people get the death as well. So I cannot disagree with the people who are rich. Probably they may be getting. What's the reason behind it? I don't know. But then this is how the data says that 1 in 12 people get in the countries with the high human development index, 1 in 12 get the breast cancer, and 1 in 73 people get. The death of 1 in 73 people. This is how it is. But then maybe what I think. Since the people are more sensitized about it, the people are more exposed about it. They talk more and they go more. Detection rates are more. However, in our countries where the sensitization is not as high as other countries, maybe that's the reason. Probably we get detected in a very late stage.
Just on that one, Mr. Khan, you've actually talked about the signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and just how can one prevent themselves not to get breast cancer?
That's wonderful. What happens is the first is self-observant.
Okay.
Because see, if you have to get it, you have to get it, right? Because that's how, if the lifestyle has become like this and you are being exposed to so many things, it may occur. The important thing is how best we treat ourselves as early as possible. So as you have observed yourself well, we need to visit the doctor. Doctor may find your assumptions true or not, and then he can suggest some of the tests. For example, after observation, he can send you for the mammography, which is easily available in our country, in government hospitals as well as some of the private diagnostic centers. Then once mammography is done, he can also to confirm his assumption, because if he's found some lumps and he's found something, he can go for a biopsy. That is the test for the confirmation. Because if he has found something and there is some lumps are developing and the lumps are smaller, he can take a small core of tissue, very small, maybe like core means 0.2 mm or 3 mm or something like this. He can take it. It goes to the labs, and in the lab, the microscopy happens. If any change in the tissue structures are there, it can easily be detected. And once it is detected, it's found that there is a cancer or some abnormal cells are there. Those can be confirmed by another test. We call it immunohistochemistry, to characterize what type it is. See, for example, if any lump which is there is not cancerous, all the lumps are not cancerous. So if it is cancerous, it needs to be confirmed by doing the further test and then characterize it, and then therapy can start.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. My last question, actually, from me. Many other times, these health workers say that to avoid breast cancer, at least suck a breast. How true is that?
I have actually no idea about it. I'm sorry to say, but honestly, it's yeah.
Okay, for me, what I want to find out is I'll still go back to October being the month of breast cancer awareness. Do you feel there is more sensitization about breast cancer?
I think we need to do more.
Okay.
Honestly, we need to do more at various levels. Many stakeholders need to come up and talk about it. We should not limit only to the October. October, yes, it is celebrated and we talk more and more. However, we should not limit ourselves. We should talk many a times, all the times, and so that people are not exposed to those kind of risks. And we need to, if at all somebody gets it, it need to be treated as early as possible. Before the lump get converted into and reaches to the lymph nodes, because if it is early, trust me, it's easily treated. But once it becomes later stage, things becomes difficult, and then the chances of survival, of course, they are there, but the treatment outcome is questionable if it becomes advanced.
Okay, your concluding remarks about breast cancer, Mr. Khan.
I want to say that we need to get sensitized. That's one. We need to be observant. Self-awareness and self-observation is the key. And then anything you find in your body, we need to immediately visit the doctor. We have also seen that even though the people who are more at risk, but at the later stage, when you see that the people who have been getting the breast cancer, 50% of the people who does not have any kind of signs and symptoms. So the people who feel that there is no signs and symptoms, or I'm absolutely fine, they get it. So it's important for us to be vigilant and keep checking ourselves.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on Lumen Morning Diary.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to join you and at least talk about breast cancer in the Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
All right, our viewers, right up now, we'll go on a short break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and it is another exciting segment where we get to discuss further about our topic of focus, and we've been joined by our guest, Mr. Ges Nyirenda, who happens to be the person who will tell us more about CDF. But before we get to talk about it more, I'll allow him to explain himself or to the viewers who Mr. Ges Nyirenda is.
Well, thank you very much. Ges Nyirenda is a very simple young man, but growing old, of course. I come from an organization called Operation Young Vote, which has been in existence in the country for the past 24 years. And it's basically a platform for the young people. It's a voice of and for the young people, and basically to engage into issues of governance, leadership, decision making, but generally the plight of young people in the development sphere. I also happen to be part of a number of coalitions in the country, and I'm the vice chairperson of the Access to Information Coalition, which of course made a very big milestone by ensuring that the access to information was delivered by government. I also happen to be the chairperson of this governance electoral support network Zambia. This is a coalition of NGOs that speak to governance and the electoral process, and a huge number of us are in this coalition. But where you get to a quasi-government engagement, I have been part of the African Peer Review Mechanism, that is the National Governing Council. Since inception, Zambia acceded to the APRM in 2006, and from 2008 to today, I have been part of the National Governing Council of the country. I did part of the Electoral Reform Technical Committee in 2005, 2003 to 2005, and today I am also part of the Electoral Reform Technical Committee that is galvanizing, submissions from the members of the general public to be able to reform the electoral process of the country.
All right. So, Mr. Ges Nyirenda, we have some concerns from the general public about CDF. I heard you very well that you have access to information. So let's take a look at a clip of some residents in Lusaka, and then later on we get to discuss more about CDF. Stay tuned.
Anyway, pankani ya CDF, tumaimvera kuli CDF, kuli mabazali, shani, but kuli ifwe, wameli tuzisebenzera, sivi kulibe kwa mele tandizi, wameli tutezi. Tumvera kwa chabe, kuli CDF, then na mozi pezela, tulibe maningi information ya tungaende oku, then peza tandizi. Namvera kwa do, sili maningi clear, sili ziba bwino pe constituency, but ni Zambia zakuti ngati batupasako bonse tungakwane ngati 1000 tungakwane bonse, so tuvutika maningi so hapa nilungisa kansi pakuti muntu abuleko but taking a time, so tulina bana ba ku school tulina shani, so tuvutika maningi
ifo bayitobele ukweba ati CDF ngamnepo kuchita access mufile mwa forming ama groups because I'm a parent who has a child with special needs. To forming a group yonaba nandi after to forming mufile mwa kwata ama minutes definitely ko yali na kupakra fiance to watch ta fiance fair registration. Okay, tie nturo le number CDF yo pakutika be approved na lero. This is the second year. So maybe probably yaba senda CDF limbi bali kwani na basenda CDF ifo chali tupitani ifyo fin.
Kulinganza na nkani ya CDF hapa nifuno kama chirungama zona boma eve isha release drama, but ise muchani mukoma compounds mwatumu kuli kufyengana venangu vangenesa kukabwera drama no atai bachi buluru fest kubaleta pafupi manje ise bamesi ti connected ku bantu tipeze kati tisawukiramu but zeve ndrama tiwona kuti zingia na boma isharirize
inganya CDF utangatimbera pa time ya itali maningi monga ine CDF nabana lembesako penene zonkala kuchongwe I think papitako 4 years so hapa but nabana lembesa zinanga nesina choki so nisunga ko bana masiye ma sisters wangu wanamwalira ma yonse masaidi yabiri matata na mayo abo wanamwalira so ndile babasunga so sinizwa kuti bafuna abantu babwanje because nezinanga senze nachoka kai nambia ta ida CDF itandizera bana bamasiye itandizera bankalamba so sinizwa kuti bamafuna babwanje pena bafuna bankalamba no basunga bana bamasiye no oneka bankalamba no oneka basikana siniziwa
yes ma drainages nona basebenza abantu maye kuti upezeke kukuli baja abantu bame basebenza ma drainages ni kulimba niyo itana che kunokinga na pa madozi koko iwe bwera palindrama.
Well, that is what we had from the society, and lots more that we could not manage to cover out there. Mr. Guest Nyirenda, you've heard it for yourself. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I want first of all to empathize with the members of the general public and how they are finding it difficult, but also how the whole fiasco and treatment around the CDF to the members of the general public which is quite unfortunate. And I want also to mention that one of the key organizations or coalitions that I belong to that basically speaks to matters of the CDF. I also belong to the civil society organizations Decentralization Alliance Network, and I happen to be the co-coordinator at national level of this network, which basically looks at issues of decentralization, and CDF is part of the decentralization agenda. It's quite unfortunate that is what citizens are going through, and this is reality. The problem is that leaders tend to want to listen to those who are close to them. They are cocooned by the people who are close to them, and the information that they are receiving is that, well, CDF is okay, everything is working. But the people on the ground, the voices of the people on the ground is not being paid attention to, and that is what really matters. But I also want to be able to demystify a few issues from the clips that we have seen. I think people are mixing CDF with other social protection, facilities that the country has currently, because of what Zambia has gone through in terms of the calamity of COVID, which of course affected the entire globe, but also the recent one and the one that we are currently going through, the drought and the emergency. So these particular issues have protection facilities that government has put in place. For example, somebody was talking of chitama drainage, and you have to knock at the door of someone for you to they are secretly doing that. So that is not CDF. That is basically a cash for work facility, social protection facility for the Zambians, because they have undergone all this torment because of these challenges that have occurred in the country. But then government has thought that, look, especially that a lot of people have no jobs, there's no employment. So this cash for work is one thing that would help the citizens to be able to cushion some of the things that they are going through. So that is not CDF, if I may put it. But safe to say that CDF has a number of issues and challenges that people have really failed to penetrate and get access to it. Remember that this CDF is basically meant to help the development at community level, at local level, at the very basic, minute level, because, and that's what the president has kept on emphasizing. The money must go to the people on the ground. We do not want to continue, that's his words, of course, paraphrased. We do not want to continue with the corruption, grand corruption in Lusaka. We want money to go to the people on the ground so that they are able to benefit. But here are the people, they are saying that they are not benefiting. They are not accessing. There's this lady who said, look, for 2 years now, we formed a cooperative and all those things, and there's nothing that we are seeing. Indeed, it's true. And I think the issue of ensuring that the CDF challenges are unlocked must actually be brought to the table again, because we have been doing this, we have been talking about this, and things are not changing. Where is the problem? Why are the people not accessing the money which the president himself said that this money is supposed to go to the people? There are the people. A woman with a child with a disability, and they are unable to access this money. Here is somebody who is trying to earn a living. They are repairing pressing irons and all these, and they are unable to get. Who is this CDF meant for? Okay, so if it is really meant for the people, can we unlock all these challenges? But I also want to speak to the people, because sometimes we have a tendency as Zambians, and including myself, we have a tendency of wanting to see things come to our doorstep. Okay, we want somebody to push it for us, so that we just see it. This is it. No, I think that attitude is very bad. We need to get engaged. We need to get involved. Yes, we know that there are those that are involved, there are those that are engaged, and they are not seeing the fruits. And this is why I'm trying to also speak to government and to the duty bearers that they must do something to unlock these challenges that people are facing. But those that are just seated and think that CDF will benefit them when they are not moving, I don't think they are helping themselves. They are not helping themselves. They are not helping their communities. They are not helping the country. They must move so that together we push. If there are problems, we say, yes, there are a problem for all of us, and we need things to change so that CDF could be accessed by all citizens. I also want to. Because CDF has components, it's not like the entire. We came from 1.6 million, then we were at 25.7 million. From 25.7 million, it was increased to 28.3 million. From 28.3 million, it was again increased, and now it has been increased to 30.1 million. Which is for the next budget, 2025. It's a good thing, and this is a lot of money. And really, if this government is going to be sincere and release this money to each and every of the 156 constituencies, this country will be paradise. This country will change. But because it's there on paper, 36.1 million. It's on paper. It's not there. Because if it is there, believe me, 36 point, currently what we have, 30.6 million. It's a lot of money. But really, it's on paper. It's not in reality. People are not accessing it. We know excuses that leadership has given duty bearers, no, because the absorption level is not so good, so we cannot release all the monies. But look at people. There are complaints. People are complaining. People are telling us really. So if people are not able to access this CDF and they have these challenges, why do we want to hold on to the money that has or has we don't want to release the entire CDF. So it's incumbent on the leadership to be able to put things right and ensure that we move forward as a country, especially with regards to the Constituency Development Fund.
Just a quick one, Mr. Guest Nyirenda. There are some comments on Facebook as we are now. People are commenting on Facebook. You can read them, General.
CDF, are they grants or loans? We have a suggestion. We have a question here, and others are saying CDF is somehow political. How true is that?
Great. Very genuine questions and very good questions. Let me begin with the CDF grants, loans, and I was coming to that point when I said, look, CDF has categories. Okay, there's a category of grants, and the grant is money that is given to whether it's a cooperative, it's an institution, which is not meant to be paid back. Okay. However, even when it is not meant to be paid back, it has to be monitored on how it is utilized, so that at the end of the day, when it's a business, or if it's a business, it has to mature. It's not that money should be put in a bottomless pit and swallowed and it ends there. No, government must monitor the use of those grants to the point that they make this institution that has access to this money to be able to graduate, to grow, so that they are able even to, if they employed one person, they must be employ two people, because they are growing in business because of this grant, which is not meant to be paid back per se. But there are also loans, and loans are paid back.
Are they paying back?
Pardon?
Are they paying back?
Are they really paid up? Do they do a follow-up on those loans?
Well, there's indication, there are reports that we are receiving that yes, some are paying, which is good, except that, look, I said of one attitude that we Zambians have, and I want to add this other attitude where we think that we want to thrive on free things, and when we are given a loan, we say, oh, look, I will not pay back because I suffered, especially those that may have participated in helping the leadership get into office by campaigning for them, or they will say, knife a manja to swear more.
So now it becomes political.
It becomes a payback for them. But really, what is a loan must be paid back, because it is a loan. But also, there are bursaries. There are those of our brothers and our sisters that really need to go to school, to vocational training, and so they are paid for. It could be they want to do whatever art they want to engage in. The government will pay for them this particular bursary. But also, there's money meant for development. Remember that a constituency may want to have, is it a clinic, or is it a school, or is it whatever? So CDF has this component, but also the component that members of parliament especially have complained against this particular component of purchasing for them, things like motor vehicles, CDF police vehicles, CDF ambulances, and so on and so forth. They are complaining. It's not that these facilities are not good, but really, or these equipment are not. They are good, except that the decision has to be made at constituency level, because this money. Remember that CDF is just part of decentralization, and Zambia has chosen to go a decentralization mode of devolution, which must give people power to be able to do things on the ground.
This topic actually can go. Time is not with us, Mr. Guest Nurenda. We are yet to call you again so that we can continue. I feel this can be.
We have so many anticipations.
So many anticipations. There are some MPs that say that they don't receive Air CDF at all, but we'll still need you back here. Right up now, we'll go on a short break. Up next is sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. We are still on Lumen Morning Diary, and now we come to the last segment of our show, which is the sports segment with me and Mr. Mafuta. Oh, we have Henry today. Mr. Mafuta, good morning.
Yeah, you are Henry Oduan out.
Mr. Mafuta, morning.
Morning. Nice to have you, Henry.
Thank you so much.
It's a bit funny that ladies more into sports than you, man.
I'm pushing Mafuta, this time around.
I'm surprised you're all happy today. I thought your mood would be low looking at our bad performance yesterday's game.
There are times problems become part of you, and you smile even when things are not okay.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it was really a bad day for Zambia. Mm-hmm. I know Chad. I came not really as that big opponent that a lot of people expected, but I remember before the game I was just giving a preview on some media stations who were discussing this game. One of them was Radio Chengero. Actually, I was privileged to move to the Copper Belt for yesterday's game. Woke up very early. Mr. Piri is the one actually who woke me so early. He said, no, you must be available. I said, no, I'm in. Actually, it was a sad day. Zambia having a point from a possible 3 at home against Chad. That wasn't a good result, but those who follow football, it is the second time we are having a draw against Chad here in Zambia. The last time it was a qualifier again in which Mbesuma scored, they equalized, and we had to rely on the last game in South Africa where we beat South Africa 3-1 with a hat-trick from Chris Katongo. That's saw us through, and it seems Chad really had no respect for Zambia the way they came in.
they lost respect.
Yeah, they lost respect, but just to from what I saw myself, I think immediately I looked at the lineup. I think it gave me a picture to say this was not a winning team.
Okay.
Yeah, the lineup, some absentees, of course, but one shocking thing was seeing the most promising defender in Frank Msonda being benched and opting for Benson Sakala to partner with Kawasa Chongo in the middle of the pack. Then our natural creative midfielder, a supply line for Zambia, has been in the young talented boy Obino Chisala, playing his trade in Mozambique. He was deployed into the defense as a left back. Actually, he played so well in that position, but that is the ingenuity of Zambian midfield today. The supply line, so blank in front, nothing to talk about the entire first half.
Yeah, nothing. Literally.
One long range shot from Kelvin Kampamba in the entire first half. The goalkeeper, anyway, some extent literally on holiday in the first half, and I think Grant seemed to have learned out of ideas. I saw him for the first time. I saw him coming out of the seat trying to give a bit of talking. And, the fans were there shouting, hey, Shkulu Ikala Fieta Parifio next. I know it was bad. By the end of the game, Henry, the entire down street, passing through Hospital Road, we had all the Copper Belt fans lining up and calling for Grant's resignation. It was really bad, and it seems people are no longer in favor of Grant, but let's see where it goes. Of course, our other opponent in the group did a good job. Ivory Coast have continued showing their supremacy, beating Sierra Leone 4-1, and this just puts them to be very comfortable. The problem now is with these three slots will be very difficult. This second slot
will be very difficult
among these three teams, but it seems all the three, Zambia, Chad, Sierra Leone, we are all just fighting who comes next to Ivory Coast. As things seem, Ivory Coast are outlined, going to top the group. Zambia, the way we played against Sierra Leone, it was at home. They are waiting for us at their backyard. It's just this Tuesday we are supposed to be playing Chad. Of course, a neutral ground. Chad has no standard pitch. The game will be in Yaoundé in Cameroon. But two players already suspected to be out from the long injury list we have. We have two additions of Miguel Chaiwa, who leaped off the pitch, not in good shape, and a deep cut for the goalkeeper Lawrence. I don't see him also coming back. So we may have an additional two from the already big absentees like Lamek Banda, Stofira Nsunzo. Then things not really okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Ms. Mafuta, the coach, has grudges with the player?
I wouldn't use the word grudges, but I would use the word different.
He has differences.
So many differences.
There are so many differences. Of course, the other informations that we are privy to, but unconfirmed. Okay, already there were issues that there were boycotts by some of the players, which resulted in Frank Msonda being on the bench for that game. It was not out of the coach's intention, but an inside source and confirmed reports are indicating that some senior players openly argued with the coach. He was giving his perspective on what he expects in the game, and he was telling them to say, we are going for a three at the back, and the defenders actually said we need our normal Zambian football 4-4-2 formation. And he said, whoever doesn't fit into my game plan, then is not fit to play. And that resulted in, if you saw, that team had, the entire team we played yesterday, the starting lineup only had two natural defenders. From a possible back four, the only natural defenders who started were Chepeshi and Kabaso Chongo. Right. Geo Chaiwa is a holding midfielder currently. but sometimes used as a defender. Albino Chisala is an attacking midfielder, using as a left back. Benson Sakala, used as a 4-5, is a natural holding midfielder again. So we had a team that was lacking defenders, and an inside source gives us the information that defenders did not buy into the idea of the coach, and those differences arose, and they said, I'll use those who are ready to play this formation.
All right, do we have the games for this weekend?
The games we have, of course, for this weekend, it's only in the Women's Super League. Of course, the men, we are on bye, as you know, normally when we have this. But for the women, a number of games. Of course, today we have 3 fixtures with 2 games at Sunset Stadium. We have a double header there where Elite ladies will take on Indane at 13 hours. Then thereafter, we have the owners of the pitch, Zanaco, hosting Choma Warriors. Then Pray It Forward will take on Nchanga Rangers at will take on Nchanga Queens. That is at Malamba Stadium in Livingston. And of course, tomorrow we have Nkwazi hosting the Police Doves at 10 hours. Then GBFC and Red Arrows, a game of the week. It will be at 10 hours tomorrow at National East Stadium. Then Nkana will take on Green Eagles at 13 hours at Nkana Stadium. And Yasa Luyando Lockhorns at 14 hours at OYDC. 2 games postponed, that is Trident Queens versus Kamfinsa and Zesco Girls versus ISD. These are postponed.
Well, Mr. Mafuta, we also have the Copper Princesses that qualified.
Yes.
What's your take about that?
Yeah, Carlo Kanyemba, of course, has announced a good formidable team that will be going on to the Dominican Republic in the World Cup under 17. We are making the second appearance 10 years exactly down the line, because we were there with the group of the Barbara Bandas. They were the first Zambian under 17 team to go for the World Cup. This becomes the second team 10 years down the line. Quite a very, very good team that she has scored. She has retained almost everyone, but of course a few may be culprits. No new inclusions as per se. Quite a formidable team, but the group we are in, remember, we are in a group where we have Japan and the mighty Brazil. We are in the same group.
Well, Zambia is always in the toughest groups, right?
Yeah.
All right, we are coming to the end of the sports segment. Join us after a short break. Stay tuned. We come to the end of the show with actually me, Mr. Mafuta, General, not forgetting Alice, who was there with us later after the show. Hope you've enjoyed the show as we've given you the full package of it, ranging from sports, newspaper pick, the health segment, and of course our topic of focus, which was the CDF. How is it helping you? Not forget that we'll have the live broadcast coming all the way from Chongwe, where the Catholic Women Organization from the Archdiocese of Lusaka are having their 2024 Seminarian Fund from St. Paul's Parish in Chongwe. Watch this mass live on Lumen TV at 10 hours and also on our social media platforms at the same time. with me, Henry Mdenda, General, and Mr. Mafuta. We come to the end of the show. Join us next week, same time, same place. It's bye-bye from us.